Gadgets recovery, troubleshooting, workspaces center, location and other sensors, credential manager biometric devices, system icons, and display. 67. Windows Security Center has been renamed to Windows Action Center, Windows Health Center and Windows Solution Center in earlier builds, which encompasses both security and maintenance of the computer. Redeboost on 32-bit editions now supports up to 256 GB of extra allocation. Windows 7 also supports images in RAW image format through the addition of Windows Imaging Component-enabled image decoders, which enables RAW image thumbnails previewing and metadata display in Windows Explorer, plus full-size viewing and slideshows in Windows Photo Viewer and Windows Media Center. 68. Windows 7 also has a native TFTP client with the ability to transfer files to or from a TFTP server. 69. The default taskbar of Windows 7. The taskbar has seen the biggest visual changes, where the old Quick Launch toolbar has been replaced with the ability to pin applications to the taskbar. Buttons for pinned applications are integrated with Fetask buttons. These buttons also enable jump lists to allow easy access to common tasks, and file is frequently used with specific applications. 70. The revamped taskbar also allows the reordering of taskbar buttons. To the far right of the system clock is a small rectangular button that the taskbar has seen the biggest visual changes, where the old
Yes, I did click by mistake. That happened when I'm sleepy. Let's take some cola and then read from the top. It's 7, no, it's 5:30, and still have some power on the camcorder for like 1 hour maybe, so let's just continue. But I think from Windows 7 we had like a modern operating system. I actually have Windows 7 on this old computer. If we have Windows 7 there, I will keep it. That's old Pentium D or Pentium dual core. Got Windows 10 on this. That's old i5, Intel Core i5 first generation. It can easily run Windows 10, but I think Windows 10 will last many 20 to 30 years, next many years. Goes all the way back from Pentium 4, the Pentium 4 Prescott with this XG bit, NX bit, and SSE2 and PAA can run Windows 10. I think Windows 7 only needs SSE2, but Pentium 3 don't have SSE2, I think. So that's only Pentium 4 can run Windows 7. I don't think you cannot run Windows 7 on a Pentium 3 CPU. Or Pentium 3 got SSE, but not SSE2. But that's old enough. Pentium 4 Prescott to LGA 775 slot. That's old enough for Windows. Of course, you not build a Windows 10 computer to a Pentium 4 Prescott. You will of course use the Core 2 or quad-core CPU to the LTA slots. You will not use, but that's something I will have to test, how the performance is on Pentium 4 Prescott compare with quad-core and dual-core. I will get 2 motherboards the next few days I will get 2 motherboards with LTA 775 with a quad-core. This is my first quad-core CPU. I don't know if I have a dual core. I think I have a low number. 6000, a dual core, core 2, 6400. I don't have the 7000 or 8000. But let's read from the top again.
Windows Action Center, Windows Health Center and Windows Solutions Center in earlier builds, which encompasses both security and maintenance of the computer. ReadyBoost on 32-bit editions now supports up to 256 GB of extra allocation. Windows 7 also supports images in raw image format through the addition of Windows Imaging Component-enabled image decoders, which enables raw image thumbnails previewing and metadata display in Windows Explorer, plus full-size viewing and slideshows in Windows Photo Viewer and Windows Media Center. 68. Windows 7 also has a native TFTP client with the ability to transfer files to or from a TFTP server. 69. The default taskbar of Windows 7. The taskbar has seen the biggest visual changes, where the old Quick Launch toolbar has been replaced with the ability to pin applications to the taskbar. Buttons for pinned applications are integrated with the task buttons. These buttons also enable jump lists to allow easy access to common tasks, and file is frequently used with specific applications. 70. The revamped taskbar also allows the reordering of taskbar buttons. To the far right of the system clock is a small rectangular button that serves as the show desktop icon. By default, hovering over this button makes all visible windows transparent for a quick look at the desktop. 71. In touch-enabled displays such as touch screens, tablet PCs, etc., this button is slightly, 8 pixels, wider in order to accommodate being pressed by a finger. 72. Clicking this button minimizes all windows, and clicking it a second time restores them. Window management in Windows 7 has several new features. Aero Snap maximizes a window when it is dragged to the top, left, or right of the screen. 73. Dragging windows to the left or right edges of the screen allows users to snap software windows to either side of the screen, such that the windows take up half the screen. When a user moves windows that were snapped or maximized using Snap, the system restores their previous state. Snap functions can also be triggered with keyboard shortcuts. Aero Shake hides all inactive windows when the active Windows title bar is dragged back and forth rapidly. Action Center window, showing no problems detected. Windows 7 includes 13 additional sound schemes, titled Afternoon Calligraphy, Characters, Cityscape, Delta, Festival, Garden Heritage, Landscape, Quirky, Raga, Savannah, and Sonata. 74. Internet Spades, Internet Backgammon and Internet Checkers, which were removed from Windows Vista, were restored in Windows 7. Users are able to disable or customize many more Windows components than was possible in Windows Vista. New additions to this list of components include Internet Explorer 8, Windows Media Player 12, Windows Media Center, Windows Search, and Windows Gadget Platform. 75. A new version of Microsoft Virtual PC, newly renamed as Windows Virtual PC, was made available for Windows 7 Professional, Enterprise, and Ultimate Editions. 76. It allows multiple Windows environments, including Windows XP mode, to run on the same machine. Windows XP mode runs Windows XP in a virtual machine, and displays applications within separate windows on the Windows 7 desktop. 77. Furthermore, Windows 7 supports the mounting of a virtual hard disk, VHD, as a normal data storage, and the bootloader delivered with Windows 7 can boot the Windows system from a VHD. However, this ability is only available in the Enterprise and Ultimate Editions. 78. The Remote Desktop Protocol, RDP, of Windows 7 is also enhanced to support real-time multimedia application including video playback and 3D games, thus allowing use of DirectX 10 in remote desktop environments. 79. The 3 application limit, previously present in the Windows Vista and Windows XP Starter editions, has been removed from Windows 7. 80. All editions include some new and improved features, such as Windows Search, security features, and some features new to Windows 7, that when the Action Center flag is clicked on, it lists all security and maintenance issues in a small pop-up window. Originated within Vista. Optional BitLocker drive encryption is included with Windows 7 Ultimate and Enterprise. Windows Defender is included. Microsoft Security Essentials antivirus software is a free download. All editions include Shadow Copy, which every day or so System Restore uses to take an automatic previous version snapshot of user files that have changed. 81. Backup and restore have also been improved. 82, 83, and the Windows Recovery environment installed by default replaces the optional Recovery Console of Windows XP. 84, a new system known as Libraries was added for file management. Users can aggregate files from multiple folders into a library. By default, libraries for categories such as documents, pictures, music, and video are created, consisting of the user's personal folder and the public folder for each. The system is also used as part of a new home networking system known as Home Group. Devices are added to the network with a password, and files and folders can be shared with all other devices in the home group, or with specific users. The default libraries, along with printers, are shared by default, but the personal folder is set to read-only access by other users, and the public folder can be accessed by anyone. 85, 86. Windows 7 includes improved globalization support through a new Extended Linguistic Services API. 87. To provide multilingual support, particularly in Ultimate and Enterprise editions. Microsoft also implemented better support for solid-state drives. 88, including the new trim command, and Windows 7 is able to identify a solid-state drive uniquely. Native support for USB 3.0 is not included because of delays in finalization of the standard. 89. At WinHEC 2008, Microsoft announced that color depths of 30-bit and 48-bit would be supported in Windows 7 along with the wide color gamut sRGB, which for HDMI 1.3 can be converted and output as 15YCC. The video modes supported in Windows 7 are 16-bit sRGB, 24-bit sRGB, 30-bit sRGB, 30-bit with extended color gamut sRGB, and 48-bit sCRGB. 90, 91. For developers, Windows 7 includes a new networking API with support for building SOAP-based web services in native code, as opposed to .NET-based WCF web services. 92. New features to simplify development of installation packages and shorten application install times. 93. Windows 7, by default, generates fewer user account control (UAC) prompts because it allows digitally signed Windows components to gain elevated privileges without a prompt. Additionally, users can now adjust the level at which UAC operates using a sliding scale. 94. Removed. Certain capabilities and programs that were a part of Windows Vista are no longer present or have been changed, resulting in the removal of certain functionalities. These include the classic Start menu user interface, some taskbar features, Windows Explorer features, Windows Media Player features, Windows Ultimate Extras, Search button, and Inkball. 4 applications bundled with Windows Vista, Windows Photo Gallery, Windows Movie Maker, Windows Calendar and Windows Mail are not included with Windows 7 and were replaced by Windows Live branded versions as part of the Windows Live Essential SHUI. 95, 96 editions. Windows 7 is available in 6 different editions, of which the Home Premium, Professional, and Ultimate are available at retail in most countries, and as preloaded software on most new computers. Home Premium and Professional were aimed at home users and small businesses respectively, while Ultimate was aimed at enthusiasts. Each edition of Windows 7 includes all of the capabilities and features of the edition below it, and adds additional features oriented towards their market segments. For example, Professional adds additional networking and security features such as encrypting file system and the ability to join a domain. Ultimate contained a superset of the features from Home Premium and Professional, along with other advanced features oriented towards power users, such as BitLocker drive encryption. Unlike Windows Vista, there were no Ultimate Extras add-ons created for Windows 7 Ultimate. 97, 98, 99. Retail copies were available in upgrade and higher cost full version licenses. Upgrade licenses require an existing version of Windows to install, while full licenses can be installed on computers with no existing operating system. 100. The remaining 3 editions were not available at retail, of which 2 were available exclusively through OEM channels as preloaded software. The Starter Edition is a stripped-down version of Windows 7 meant for low-cost devices such as netbooks. In comparison to Home Premium, Starter has reduced multimedia functionality, does not allow users to change their desktop wallpaper or theme, disables the Aeroglass theme, does not have support for multiple monitors, and can only address 2 GB of RAM. 99, 101. Home Basic was sold only in emerging markets, and was positioned in between Home Premium and Starter. 97, 98. The highest edition, Enterprise, is functionally similar to Ultimate, but is only sold through volume licensing via Microsoft's Software Assurance Program. 102, 103, 104. All editions aside from Starter support both IA32 and x86-64 architectures. Starter only supports 32-bit systems. 99. Retail copies of Windows 7 are distributed on 2 DVDs, one for the IA32 version and the other for x86-64. OEM copies include 1 DVD, depending on the processor architecture licensed. The installation media for consumer versions of Windows 7 are identical. The product key and corresponding license determines the edition that is installed. The Windows Anytime upgrade service can be used to purchase an upgrade that unlocks the functionality of a higher edition, such as going from Starter to Home Premium, and Home Premium to Ultimate. 97. Most copies of Windows 7 only contained 1 license. In certain markets, a family pack version of Windows 7 Home Premium was also released for a limited time, which allowed upgrades on up to 3 computers. 105. In certain regions, copies of Windows 7 were only sold in, and could only be activated in a designated region. 106. Support life cycle. Support status summary. Expiration date. Mainstream support January 13, 2015, 5, 6. Extended support January 14, 2020, 5, 6. Applicable Windows 7 Edition Starter, Home Basic, Home Premium, Professional, Enterprise and Ultimate, 5, 6, as well as Professional for Embedded Systems and Ultimate for Embedded Systems, 100.